Hello. Good to see everybody. Got a lot of Epstein stuff to get into tonight. Got an echo. I got it fixed. There it is. Yeah, so I found a lot of crazy stuff. There's this handwritten letter that said all this crazy shit about Trump, and it is pretty intense. And then there are a couple of other things too that are quite interesting. Sascha Riley's father pops up a few more times, and now JMail is working with the new files. So we're going to do some kind of free-form research there and try to see what we can figure out. But before we start, I saw this was quite interesting. I'm not sure what to think of it because it's so Dan Bilzerian, you might be familiar with this guy. I don't think he's a great dude. He's like one of these bro influencers that pays a bunch of models to hang around with him all day. Which, get your bag, ladies. More power to you. But you know what I mean. So he posted photos of him hanging out with these women a couple of years ago on Instagram, and he was with Post Malone, so that's why I got attention too. And somehow this managed to get into the Epstein files. I'm not sure why, because it's already been it's already in the public domain, you know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit weird. So look, this says Dan Bilzerian posted this image with Post Malone and on Facebook in 2018. And yes, it was Facebook, not Instagram. Why was this included in the Epstein files? And if you go to the Epstein files, right here, there's this picture of Dan Bilzerian, Post Malone, and redacted people. And he actually responded, and he says every pic I posted on Instagram is in the files with the girl's face is blacked out. So that's quite interesting. I'm not really sure what to think about that. Are they trying to muddy the waters by putting random celebrities in here? I know, like, I don't think that it's unusual to say that Dan Bilzerian is a potential predator. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't know of him having any connection with Epstein. I know he is quite anti-Semitic from what I understand. So he's probably not chilling with Epstein. Like I said, I'm not saying for sure, but it's highly possible. But I'm wondering why publicly available photos are getting in there when they're not posting or they're not publishing half of the files, but they're publishing publicly available Instagram photos. It's very, very strange. And there was something else in that regard. Oh, yeah. All of these mentions of the Rothschilds are starting to disappear in the files. Started out 11912, 11860, and it started at 12,073. AI was the main redaction engine, possibly. Yeah, the Jay-Z and Pusha T thing was definitely weird. Jay-Z, I saw he like deleted his Instagram after that, but I'm not sure if that is like legit or if I was just seeing stuff. Oh wait. So yeah, that's definitely weird. We were looking at some of those Rothschild emails last night and they were pretty wild. We got couple of weird things with Trump here. First off, we've been trying to hammer down like how long ago they were actually friends, you know? And it seems like it was more recently than we realized. So look at this here. Jeffrey wrote, "I'm in Palm Beach." Oh, wait. Let's go a little bit further. This is with Larry Summers, right? So Larry Summers says, "In China, too much talk maybe by mistake." Up here, Larry Summers is calling from here prudent. Jeffrey Epstein emails a couple days later, almost a week, says, "You back?" He says, "Yup, want to discuss the Donald at some point." This is Larry Summers talking 2018. Epstein responds, "I'm in Palm Beach all weekend." Larry Summers, "We'll call tonight or at some time or at some point. Will you be visiting Mar-a-Lago?" Then Epstein responds, "Being asked for 3 names to replace Mnuchin." Like, that is straight up right there saying he was meeting with Trump to talk to him about, like, to give him advice, essentially. So I'm catching up on chat here. Yeah, so that's pretty wild. I haven't seen a lot on this, but this is, let's see what number this is. This is EFTA 026-10387.pdf in the files. Data set, not sure what data set that's in. But yeah, that's he's right there straight up saying he's going to Mar-a-Lago. There were a couple of let's see. Now, with all this, Trump is still trying to act like he's absolved. This is like, you know, a cop pulls you over and pulls a bag of pills out of your pocket after searching you, and you're like, "See, I'm completely absolved. As you can see, I am totally innocent."
Time for the country to get onto something else. You know, now that nothing came out about me, other than it was a conspiracy against me, literally by Epstein and other people. But I think it's time now for the country to maybe get onto something else.
What would you say to people
like
who feel like they haven't gotten
healthcare
justice, Mr. President?
something that people care about. Yeah, what did you say? Go
What
ahead,
would you
CNN.
say to
are
the
so
survivors
bad.
who feel like they haven't gotten
You are the
justice?
worst reporter. No wonder CNN has no ratings because of people like you. You know, she's a young woman. I don't think I've ever seen you smile. I've known you for 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen a smile
Well,
on
I'm
your
asking
face.
you about survivors.
You know why? You know why you're not smiling? Because you know you're not telling the truth, and you're a very dishonest organization, and they should be ashamed of you. Okay, go ahead.
He's freaking out. It's like every day he looks more and more guilty, and he's just like, "Yeah, I'm totally clear." And this is honestly tied to his belief system, because he literally believes in like a a deranged version of the what's it called, the principle of attraction, or whatever that thing is, the manifesting thing. He really believes that in like a twisted version of it, of to where like if you force your will on people enough, then it'll happen eventually. And in many ways it does, because you can just roll over people, as he has displayed. um but yeah, we've been seeing also in the files that they uh, it seems to be breaching into the territory of murder in a lot of cases. um Now, this is an FBI file, uh, or maybe a DOJ file, like maybe in DOJ. It's investigators talking internally within the government. Now, it says Redacted sent me a CD he received, which is called Epstein Murder Evidence. I saved the contents here, and I guess that's probably not available. CD sent by mail. It appears to us to be materials from a crazy person, and as such, does not need to be produced. That said, there's likely no harm in producing it to the defense. We are inclined to not produce it, but we wanted to run it by you first. Thoughts? Oh, thank you so much, Dami. I really appreciate that. Much love, for real. Um, so yeah, this is just kind of shows how they are just like outright dismissing evidence. They're like, "Oh yeah, it's called Epstein murder evidence, but we'll just ignore it. Maybe give it to the defense." Like, but this, you know, it's disgusting how you know, they put such a microscope on anybody who's caught selling drugs or small petty crimes. And in situations like this, they are just, the worst crimes you can imagine, they're just letting go. And you know what, I think that there is something to this too. And I heard somebody articulate it recently, and I can't think of who. I wish I could. And I was recently in a discussion with somebody in the comments section, and we were arguing about the SEAL Team 6 guy that we came across that file where it said that he had some of this blackmail evidence, and he was captured by the Mexican government, and then um, proceeded to hand over that evidence to get out of jail. So, the theory is that now Mexico has severe uh, blackmail evidence on many key figures, which would be interesting. Now, somebody was saying that there's no way this guy's capable of it because he was against the elite, and he had a child charity where he was actually protecting children. And I was like, well, that's a really good front. And then the guy said, you know, um, he wouldn't do it. He didn't believe in hurting people and stuff. Well, and like I did some research on the guy, and I saw that he was vehemently in support of Guantanamo Bay and the torture policy that was happening there, and during that time at the beginning of the war on terror, and then also very defensive of the torture that took place at the Abu Ghraib prison in Iraq. So I was like, this dude's talking about half of his career he was supporting torture. So why is it unrealistic to think that he would support these kind of crimes? And that seemed to be a non sequitur to this person. Like those things didn't even match up. Like, how could you that's like legal torture. But you're suggesting he's involved in illegal torture. But the legal torture he did, or he advocated for, is okay. And I think that the separation that we make with that stuff is, it leads it leads some people astray, because all of these people that surrounded themselves, all these people that surrounded Epstein, they had, um, many of them played a very significant role in these systems that brutalize most of the people on the planet. And it does so to enrich them at our expense. So they know that the systems and the organizations that they are supporting and being a part of, they understand that, they're causing great harm to people, but they go along with that stuff every day, whether it's the military to industrial complex, or the lack of significant health care that people get, or the poverty situation that they all play a significant role in. Um, they don't feel the slightest like bad about that. So why would they feel bad for hanging out with a guy that does stuff like this? And I heard that articulated by somebody recently. I wish I knew their name, but that really hit me, and I was like, "Wow, thank you so much, Jed. I really appreciate it." Palantir, yeah, they are not not good for the world at all. So yeah, that was the murder evidence. Where's the other? Oh, this was another one that was weird. And now maybe he's just saying, trying to be eloquent, but oh wait, this is in the Sarah Kay. Who's Sarah? Sarah Kay is his assistant, right? Sarah Kay Epstein assistant. Let me just check that. Sarah Kellen. That's who it is. Sarah Kellen. I guess she was one of the women involved, similar to Nadia Marcinkova or Ghislaine Maxwell. And she says, "Hey, Rich, Jeffrey is asking if you can FedEx the painting he made of the Massacre of the Innocents to the ranch. It's the large 9x9 canvas that we had rolled out for him to see in the entryway where they are killing babies." What? He wants to use it on the ranch and is hoping you could FedEx it to arrive by Wednesday. Is there a painting called this? Maybe I'm tripping, but okay, okay. It sounded weird. All right. This, so this is an actual. Okay. I'm not cultured. See, I'm not. I'm an uncultured swine over here. I did not know about this Peter Paul Rubens piece. Okay. Yeah, it is definitely weird verbiage for sure. But yeah, that's definitely a strange one. There have been some videos too. Yeah, yeah. Let's This guy, they tried to redact him. I'm not sure why. Right there. Oh, I guess because there was a woman there. Okay. But people got him right there. And then they found, where is it? That's this guy. And this led me to a facial recognition software called PimEyes. So I'm gonna get an account for this thing this week, and I'm gonna use it when we start going through these files. Because I remember that one app I used from those developers, that they made some app where those first batch of files, it had facial recognition built into it, but JMail hasn't been doing that, and those other people initially, they haven't been updating it. So I'm gonna get this this PimEyes program. Now this guy, this is the guy that looks exactly like the guy, Jordan Feldman. Let's see. Jordan Feldman, CEO, Right Way. Let's see. He definitely does. Let's check see if he's got a bio somewhere. Co-founder and CEO of Right Way, a care navigation and pharmacy benefits manager. Oh, thank you, Zombie. Prior to Right Way, Feldman was part of both the mortgage trading and investment banking teams at Goldman Sachs, which he left to help found Redbird Capital Partners. Yeah, so that's I never even heard of that guy before, but doesn't seem great. Now, this is the handwritten letter here. This, they would have redacted this if it wasn't handwritten, because this is specifically about Trump and Epstein, their involvement in with trafficking and the Saudis, threats of death, forced abortion. I couldn't come up with a YouTube safe word like replacement word. Yeah, it's pretty wild. So the handwriting is obviously pretty hard to read. I got a pretty good translation of it, though, that I'm fairly confident with. So I'm going to go through it. And what I found interesting about this is that it really does seem to confirm or back up a lot of what Sascha Riley said. And when we first heard from Sascha Riley, his story was a little bit different than we initially heard from the other survivors. And it involved different places, different dynamics, but a lot of the things that have come up in these recent files are very similar. And let's take a look at this. There are several pages, but I'm going to go through the this is like 30 some pages, honestly, but I'm going to go through the first couple of them where there is a lot of stuff. Yeah, I do believe that Sascha Riley was telling the truth. I keep on forgetting it's they. My testimony places Donald Trump as a okay, so this is what it says. It first says Jeffrey Epstein. My testimony places Donald Trump as a person involved in the sale of young women to the trafficking ring of Jeffrey Epstein and Saudis. Your father knows me and knows my older brother, Raymond Morris, tried to offer me to him to James. What? Tried to offer me to him when James uncovered some crimes he was doing. My brother, Raymond Morris, was using the drug that messes up females, and your father was instrumental in getting that drug made illegal. Is this being written to Bob Barr, maybe? I don't know who this is addressed to. It must be. District Attorney. Yep. Or wait, this says 2015. I think this is 2015, perhaps. Let me see what the transcription says. It does say 2025, the transcription. So that is kind of weird. So yeah, it says, my brother Raymond Morris was using the drug that messes up females, and your father was instrumental in getting that drug made illegal. I mean, I'm guessing it's one of those like date harm drugs, you know? I have started praying for you and your family. This is my testimony of the summer of 1967, my last year of high school. I just completely recovered this memory. Okay, so this beginning talks about her early years with her family and how her family was involved in this trafficking situation. Let's see. I was attending high school in Nashville when I'm going to try to find the place in this one it's where it says it. New Jersey. Okay. Nashville. Yeah, I think this is it. I was attending high school in Nashville when my oldest brother, Raymond Morris, was returned from Vietnam and allegedly discharged early, and told no one in his family he was back in the States. He came out to my school and tricked me because caused the kids to become addicts and sent George McDevitt to get me with him. The idea being to sell me to Jeffrey Epstein's ranch, it being sold because I am religious to the Saudis might buy me. So yeah, this was many years later after she had yeah, it's kind of hard to determine there. Oh wait, here it becomes clearer, I think. It says, I got pregnant very quickly. We married April 8th, 1967, and I was 2.5 months pregnant when we arrived for the first part of June in 1967. It was the mother in me that caused me to fight so hard to get out there. I had a younger brother named Donald that I nicknamed Donnell. Well, I'm trying to get to the, because there is a lot of kind of deviations in here. Let's see. Now comes okay, here we go. Now comes the testimony about Trump and Epstein. The plan had not been to get me pregnant and marry me off, but to sell me to the Epstein bunch through Donald Trump. Raymond also got a cut. George's father was Chief McDevitt of Seaside Heights, New Jersey. He had all these secret panels, guns, and ammunition stored in his home. From the memory I have on the day Donald Trump passed by, they must have had me in Chief McDevitt's bedroom and placed where with these panels open at the garage door up. Donald Trump did not have to step foot in the McDevitt house. This is definitely a little bit tough to read. Donald Trump says, you said she is pregnant. She doesn't look pregnant. George says she is. My dad took her to the army doctor and he estimates she is 2.5 months pregnant. Trump asked, is she on drugs? George says yes. Trump said, we don't like them to be pregnant because we lose money. A doctor might could cause her to miscarry, or if the child is good looking like her, we could sell the baby. You said she is religious. The Saudis like the religious ones. We'll figure it out. I don't like it's weird with this being in like the 70s apparently though. Is he that old? George's first cousin. Like how old was Trump in the 70s? 30 plus 50, he was 30? I could see it. What do we do with her? Trump shouted. Deep six, feed her to the fishes. I don't care what you do with her. They locked me that They locked me in George's rooms, threw some syringes in the room, and left me with no access to food, water, bathroom, etc., and departed. George was looking out the front picture window when I asked the Lord to break me out of here. I want to go home. Yeah, this is definitely a little bit tough to read. Let's see here. The witness protection, let's see. I have already been threatened by the manager saying he can have me committed to a mental institution anytime he chooses. The witness protection is not from George. He's deceased. It's from Raymond Trump. And without Raymond, none of this would have ever happened. Let me look through for the last mention of Trump here. Yeah, that is the last mention of Trump. It seems like they are weaving in, like they're giving a lot of background on the other issues that they faced in their life. And it seems that for many of these survivors, the trafficking didn't just it didn't just happen with Epstein. It happened before they met Epstein as well in many cases. Yeah, the editor and ballpoint's the same. Yeah, it does look like different handwriting, but one is cursive and one isn't. I didn't even notice the stuff on the side. That's a good eye there. And like this stuff's redacted. So maybe they did put this out intentionally. That's a pretty wild one though. So in this situation, it seems like she was being trafficked from people within her family and they tried to sell her to Donald Trump. And there were issues there where he wanted to, I guess, have her taken out after she witnessed the potential sale or something. That's what I'm gathering from this. Um, this is EFTA 01682027. And all of these links of all of these files that I research, I post in the show notes part of our Discord. Oh, I was reading it from an AI translation, zombie. Right here. Hold on. I put it through here and it was looking through this. So it seemed pretty accurate. I looked through it. I read it on a 1-to-1. But it's a pretty wild story there. And like I said, this is only half of the files and they're afraid to put the other half out. So I would imagine that that's the worst half. Like we're not even seeing the worst half. So that's pretty wild. So let's see what else we got here. Epstein Mar-a-Lago. We did the video of the guy, handwritten letter. Let's get into some of the Riley mentions. And once we do that, once we go through and look at the Riley mentions that I found, we're going to look into JMail and see what we got here. Well, yeah, Elon definitely turned Grok into a Nazi for sure, but it resisted it. It resisted it pr- pretty interestingly, and it kept on fighting him on things. Um, like you know, as much as he would try to turn it into a Nazi, it would still it would still tell him he was wrong, and he constantly has to recalibrate it to make it more like he wants to be. He's like, oh, keeps on getting woke again. Yeah, everybody said that we were just overreacting with the Nazi salute. So this says reply of William Riley and Riley Kyrali to the government's response to the motion to intervene to quash grand jury subpoenas and cross motion to compel. So this is kind of weird because of the fact that William Riley here is teamed up with somebody whose first name is Riley and their last name is Kyrali. So I don't know who this Riley Kyrali is, but maybe we could look him up just to just so we know the cast of characters that we're dealing with. Kyrali. Riley Kyrali. See, there's a lot of people who are trying to say okay, so Riley Kyrali is another private investigator. But and there's still controversy. I do have to say that there's still controversy as to whether this William Riley is Sascha Riley's father, Bill Riley. Um, William Riley. I believe that it is because Sascha Riley's father was a pilot and a PI, and William Riley is also this William Riley from the documents. Sascha Riley told us that his father would be in the documents in the next batch. So I personally believe that this is Sascha Riley's father. There are some people who dispute it though. Regardless, they got the same name. So it's something to look into regardless. File this reply to the response of the United States to the motion of Jeffrey Epstein to interview to quash grand jury subpoenas and cross motion to compel to respond to the government's assertion that Riley failed to appear before the grand jury. The government is mistaken. Riley's appearance before the grand jury was originally scheduled for July 10th, 2007. So this was supposed to be around the time that Epstein was facing charges for his first situation. By the agreement of the parties, the appearance was rescheduled for July 17th, 2007. The day before that scheduled appearance, i.e., July 16th, 2007, counsel for Jeffrey Epstein, who seeks to intervene in this matter, was informed by Deputy Chief Redacted that Riley did not have to appear physically. So this seems to be about Riley not wanting to appear at Jeffrey's hearing, or not wanting Jeffrey to appear either, and also quashing the grand jury subpoenas. And then there's this other one here. Says PI Paul Laverly / William Riley. Paul Andrew Laverly. I guess this is somebody that they did a investigation on. Do what you meet, remove items, complete equipment, deliver it to Bill Riley. Took it to Bill's something. And Allegiance, I didn't see that. Let's see. Then there was another one where really William Riley is looking for payment. Jeff, could you make arrangements to get me paid? Thanks. William Riley, 2009. Let's take a look at JMail now. This is the flights, just because I had that bookmarked. Let's look through the photos first. See what we could find. See if you go to jmail.world and go to photos, you click on new releases only, you can see the stuff that has just come out. Oops, I got to turn that thing off. Let's see. What is this? That looks like a vault of some sort, or like a morgue vault, if I'm, reaching back into my days as an apprentice mortician. Certainly looks like something you'd see. Yep. Certainly looks like something you'd see in a morgue for sure. Not sure what this is. It's interesting these photos are black and white. What's up with this file here? Emailing Jess Staley. I guess it's a bunch of redacted people. We got the island. So when one of my first jobs was a mortician, like when I was my senior year in high school, I was like a goth kid and stuff. And I got a job at a funeral home washing their hearses. And then I was an apprentice mortician for a few years. And then I was working at this funeral home, and I used to take all, or I every day I got off work, I would go to this bar down the street and meet my friend. And then me and my friend started throwing raves at that bar. And then I quit my job and I started throwing raves, which I did for many years until I got into journalism. So it's a very, very weird path I've had. Trying to see, I haven't viewed these yet. So I'm looking through this for the first time. So I'm not sure what is going to be significant and what isn't. That's a lot of televisions for one room, I think. I used to be able to. I can't do that anymore. I quit for a reason. But yeah, that I'm wondering if this is where he's got the surveillance hooked up to. Exactly. Like you're not I could see maybe somebody who's really into trading can have multiple charts up there, but I don't think so. That would be a stretch. It's more likely that this is security equipment. Yeah, surveillance equipment rather. These are some of these are very similar to the photos we saw, although I think that that's just his gaming setup. I do think that this is a different property. And it's like, what's in them binders, you know? Oh, look, there's the photo on the wall of Bill Clinton in the dress right there on the right. So maybe it isn't a different property. But we've never seen these photos before. It seems to be the New York property. Yeah, because that's what this is up here. Yep. Okay. Yeah. There's that red coat. Yeah. What's this? Okay. Oh yeah, we found this in the Discord the other day. It's just weird that you have an umbrella inside. It like this some rich people shit I don't understand. There's the hanging bride there. You see the rope and the it's such a bizarre thing to have in your they just took pictures of the most random shit. Yeah, exactly. It looks like he's doing construction in a lot of these places too. And both properties were like that. Let's see here. I'll go through a little bit. What is this? Is that a stuffed dog? That's disturbing. I feel real bad for the animals that they up. Let's take a look at this. That's the Donald drawer. This one was in the last one, but they tried to take it out. Yeah, he probably had a door to Lutnick's place. The whole thing with Lutnick is so wild. Like how he tried to just craft this story where he was the hero and he was like, I was sick to my stomach. And like, you know, that whole thing. Like, I told him I never wanted to see him again. And it's like, that's a weird one. The hell? Yeah, and apparently this revealed some other things about Lutnick too. Like he was involved in some kind of Ponzi schemes, you know? You want to check out the construction? What am I going to be looking for? Right here. Yeah, yeah, no, but it's like scaffolding. Yeah, I mean, most of them do. That's the whole deal. I mean, look at this kitchen, dude. It's like a restaurant kitchen. Here's some more of that. That's just like a boiler room or some shit. And then this massive ass library. It's like always the worst people that get to live like this, man. It's ridiculous. I mean, occasionally somebody who deserves it gets up there, but still, what a dump. It's weird that her face wasn't redacted out of that. The library is cool, though. I would kill for that library. This is another angle or another setup. This looks a little bit different than no, I think it's the same one. Maybe at a different time? Because it's the same amount of... No, I think the other one had 3 screens on each side. This got 2. This might be a different command center. Catching up on chat. I announced that I'm catching up on chat, so you all know why why there's a moment of silence. That's why I announced that. I find this whole thing very interesting. Like, this is like there was no surveillance, there was no blackmail. Yet they got like a command center with 8 televisions. Yeah, the other they did have the Clinton painting in the other one, but they had like a direct photo of it. I guess that these just weren't some of these I do remember seeing the tiger. But yeah, most of these are I've never seen before. Like this. This is a different angle of that same Donald drawer. See, look, we got like 12 angles of it this time. Last time we just had that one image. He has so many like random supplements and shit. I'd look at the disembodied hand with some kind of wet wipe in it or something. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, like, this was funny because when the facial recognition app for the files was out, like in the initial batch, this got flagged as like some ancient Roman god or something like that, and then a photo of Einstein on the wall got flagged as him. So it was like Albert Einstein was in the files, and I was like, "What? What's this about?" And then I just saw that it was a picture on the wall. Yeah, we talked about Sasha. We went through a couple of files that Sascha Riley's father was in, or somebody with the same name as Sascha Riley's father. And in a minute, once I go through these images, I'm gonna look up William Riley's name in JMail to see if we could find some more. Because I found a couple, but I think there should be a lot more. More it looks like we got more of the, island here. And I have a feeling we should definitely keep our eyes out for. See, look at these library. I'm jealous of these libraries, man. I gotta say, I'm not jealous of much about like these houses and the stuff that they have in them because like it's I don't like the decor and is like seems like a bunch of empty space, but the libraries. See, and the confidential stuff, like this stuff is definitely new. And they got the little wand. They took like 50 pictures of that wand. Is that whenever I see a whenever I see like computer stuff, I'm looking to see if we can cuz look at all these wires and different like you know, so if you have a massive house, then it could be wired up for sound like that. If you have different rooms and you want, music throughout the house and you want, but this looks a little bit elaborate for that. You know, maybe it's because I'm a peasant and I can't imagine that many wires going to a normal setup, but you know, are they? Yeah, see, look, some of these, yeah, there's a lot of old ones mixed in here, but there are a lot of new ones as well. I think especially the ones that say confidential and highly confidential on them, like these. And then some of these I think are either fully redacted or they're not showing up yet. Let's see if there's any more of like people in here instead of just. All right, here we go. Starting to get into the new ones with the people. So I'm definitely going to need to get that facial recognition program. And then we can go through some. I was seeing some people thought they figured this guy out. Can't remember who it was though. But yeah, if I get that facial recognition app, I could come through some of these. Um, it was called. What was it? I think picture of guy. I have it saved. Bring it up in a minute. Let's see. What are these videos? For some reason, it's not allowing me to bring up the preview. I think it's because some of these are still loading. Um, like JMail is basically backing up all of these photos into here, and I know it's been a slow process of making it happen. Yeah, Pim Eyes. That's what it is. Doesn't have to be next stream, but sometime this week definitely would be great to by the weekend, you know. Why is this confidential? Oh, because it's his medication. This one has more photos of people redacted. I'm skipping through a lot of the property ones. This guy I've never seen. Yeah, I saw that about Bill and Melinda Gates. She was interviewed like today, I think. Her face isn't redacted for some reason. There's a lot of new faces in here. A lot of them I don't recognize. Look, it's the same person. Her face is redacted there, but not there. What? What are they doing? Who are all those guys? Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised. Is this Michael Wolff? I can't see. It looks like him. I'm surprised that Melinda Gates was taking interviews, that she was still going on that podcast after that news dropped. Not all these are popping up. Let's see. This was the person that was in that email last night where they said she didn't make it to 23 or something. Yeah, it looks like not all of these are opening. But there are a lot of that might be that same guy, that Jordan guy from earlier. Looks very similar to him. Trump again. And is that Melania redacted or is that somebody else? Because I feel like I've seen that picture before. Yeah, these are all new for sure. I don't know if they have the not safe for work ones in here. And I don't know, like this button up here, I don't know if it like shows you only the not safe for work ones or it takes away the not safe for work ones. So I'm afraid to click it at all. You know what I mean? Like, is that him? Yeah, that's him. Who this guy? Jeez. Jeez. Yeah, these pictures are starting to get scary. Let's go to the emails. I gotta I gotta pre-watch the pictures to make sure that nothing is gonna pop up that'll get me banned. Let's look at the emails. So let's check out Riley first, and then we can pages and pages of William Riley in here. There's a lot of new emails in here too. There's Elon Musk, Nadia Marcinkova. Let's see. Guess we could start. Let's start. I guess it goes back to 2006, maybe even further. Yeah, this is not listed in. I guess it's listed in order of relevance, not time. Let's see. William Riley says, thank you, William Riley Kyrley. Early next week. Sorry, I've been swamped. This is 2009. Darren, any idea when we might expect payment from our June billing? William Riley is doing a lot of asking for payment, huh? Bob, have you paid my attorney's William Ritchie bill yet? I would appreciate if he's not been paid. I think I wonder if I'll check threads in a couple minutes to see if Sascha Riley has still been active. I haven't checked their account in a while. We'll do that as well. Would you get your accountant to send me credit card information so I could have it on file to have the monthly charges? They're really trying to get their money they're trying to get their bag from Jeff. So I'm not sure what's going to be relevant. I'm searching through a lot of this for the first time. Jeff, could you make arrangements to get me paid again? Great news. Now on to knocking out some of these shitty civil cases. That was 2009. He says, free and home. Thanks for your help. Jeff, I would like to get brought current on I guess he meant to say brought current on our outstanding invoices. All these are him asking for payment. Barbara Riley. Just talked to Joe. He told me the story about you, him, and Barbara Riley. I laughed my ass off. Keep on pushing, Warren. Did Sascha say anything about a Barbara ever? I can't remember. I'm so bad with names and get them all mixed up all the time. If anybody can remember a Barbara in the Riley family. Jeff, would you get your accountant to send me credit card information so I can have it put on file again with the monthly charges? Hire Bill Ritchie to handle your subpoenas. Start talking to Brandy Brinson's neighbor. Thanks. It's time she becomes unhappy with this nonsense. He just says, got it. Oh, not that one. Where does it say okay, that one. Her boyfriend husband is most likely probably will be running him down as well. You will find something with a Virginia driver's license issued 1008. So he's trying to get info on people a lot of times from this private investigator. Not only that, but he is also probably intimidating witnesses as well. I just saw online more half-assed lawsuit filed against you. If there is any way you can help from me, I am up and running again. It would just be me doing the work, interviews, and background, or maybe with some assistance from my partner. Nice to hear from you. I'll be in touch, he says in response. This is 2015. Bullshit lawsuit. Jeffrey, Happy New Year. If this is what it called. Oh, okay. That last one was his response. Hi, Jeff. The shit never ends. I know you have a bevy of lawyers working for you, but if you need or ever want my help, I am available. I truly hope one day you find the peace you deserve. Me, I have healed emotionally, as I now understand time stops and waits for no one. And he's doing the weird equal sign too. There's something up with this equal sign in the things. Yeah, go to I'm accessing this through jmail.world. That's how I'm finding this. Life Back, Bill Riley. Trying to look and see if I could find any. What is this? Is this article still? Oh, no. Do you? So this is an article in the Sun Sentinel that Epstein sent to William Riley on January 6th, 2015. The article is no longer active, but it talks about a trafficking ring in the Czech Republic. And William Riley just responds, he is dead. That's crazy. Confidential. He's really trying to get work from Epstein, it seems, a lot of times. Jeff, thanks for the call and concern about Bill. See here, he's calling him Bill. And that was what. Oh, put it in the Wayback Machine. Oh, yeah. Let's try it. Good call. Where did it go? He is dead. Good call. Let's see what this says. Herm? Let's try that. No URL has been captured by this URL prefix. Bummer. That's weird. You know, I was seeing this thing where Epstein was like a search engine optimization professional, and that's how he managed for the longest time to get his crimes like to the 5th page of Google or whatever. So there might have been, this might have been scrubbed for a reason. But this was a 2001 article. So it could also have been, why is it 2001? And this was sent in 2015. That's strange. Maybe that okay. Maybe it's 1111 instead, and the 2001 is just not the date. I just see it in there, so that's what makes me think that. See what else we got from there. Trying to read through these. Mullins, Riley, and Scarborough. I want to take a look at Sascha Riley's threads real quick. See if there's any. Most calendars have 12 or 13 months. Many run from January through next January. Calendar Girls is most likely code for girls around the age of 12 to 13. If they had to take a guess as to what ice cream is alluding to, I'd say it's probably code for children who are even younger. That is what Sascha said 2 days ago. The 16th. So their activity has been a little bit sparse. Trump Epstein 2028. That Epstein almost had a position in Trump's cabinet, from what I've heard. So, highly possible. Oh, I know it's a joke. I know. That's why I said that I was playing along. So yeah, this was the last one I remember. But there's also pretty active replies, I believe. It looks like they've been getting a lot of support. And it looks like they're pretty responsive on here too. As hard as it might be for some people to accept the truth, he's surrounded by people who are just as guilty as he is. All of us who came forward were telling the truth. The more that comes out, the more the fact is confirmed. Trying to find I'm glad to see that they're still active on here. Let me see. Well, I've been wanting to possibly reach out, but I've wanted to be organized and also not I'm sure it's overwhelming right now, and I would want to approach respectfully if I did. Um but yeah, let's go back to these emails and see what we got here. Search Sasha's name just curiosity. Maybe he mispronounced it or he misspelled it. Oh, there's a lot of Sashas in here. Let's take a look at remember the whoops thing we were looking at last night? I think I could search them a little bit easier in here now. Peter Mandelson. Peter Mandelson is one of the people who looked worse. Yeah, JMail is a site that these developers put together to make all of these files easier to browse. And it's basically like a clone of all the Google products. It's like Google Mail, Google Photos, Google Drive. It has Google Flights to track his flights. Jamazon has his Amazon account, and then JMessage has which Jacebook? I have not seen this yet. Is this his Facebook? This is weird, right? I don't know what they did here. But yeah, this is a pretty interesting project for sure. They got iMessage too, so you could easily browse his Yeah, so this is an uncertain identity. I went through and I thought that they'll tell you if they're just guessing if it's somebody through like context clues. It doesn't seem like they have a ton of messages though. Most of it's in the emails. And most of the messages we looked through a while back. I have videos where I look through them. Cool. So I think I have this other thing to play real quick. There were hours and hours of recordings released with Ehud Barak, Epstein, and somebody else. And there are a couple clips from there that are quite interesting. Let's see if I can find it. Here we go. This is like a 10-minute clip of this. So here, Jeffrey Epstein teaches Ehud Barak, while he is still Minister of Defense in Israel, but on his way out, how to make millions of dollars in the private sector by compiling a list of people who owe him favors from his 40 years in government service. Epstein told Ehud Barak to pursue Peter Thiel, whose name at that point Ehud Barak did not even know how to spell, and to try to connect with a company called Palantir, which existence Ehud Barak had never heard of, and whose name Jeffrey Epstein did not know how to spell. So this is pretty interesting too, because it shows you that Epstein basically set up Palantir in Israel, that he made that connection. So this was apparently from a meeting that took place in February of 2013. So let's give this.
Strap in, because you are about to get a level of access we may never get again. This is an incredible audio file on justice.gov. I'll put the source link below. I'm at the 210 mark. I'm just going to play this full exchange between Jeffrey Epstein and Ehud Barak. For context, and I found this from a clip that Ryan Grimm posted. He deduced that the Epstein, for context, Ehud Barak in the United States, then he became the king, and this is February 20.
Trying
really
to
military, as he
commentary
in media, who is
person owes me his life. This person owes me his job.
So what you're hearing him say, again, this is someone who led it.
You think you're close to? He said that he
Of the Hyatt hotel chain. His brother is J.B. Pritzker, the governor of Illinois.
he told you at Davos was he thought you should make a list of his words, not was.
Metrics.
He said, yes, but who has IOUs to you? Is that who's the?
Hold on. I could just get it starts around 2 hours in. I think Dropsite just posted it, the full thing on their, because the audio isn't coming through good in there either. So let's go to Dropsite and see. Here it is. Where was it in there? It was at around 210 is where the interesting stuff starts. So, or at least interesting for this purpose, where, because he's essentially talking about, list of favors and such. Start here.
VP,
Right.
okay. Altogether, they got some 4 of them, so that's some 28 billion. They have to put it somewhere. The story with Germany is quite clear. It's the best performing operation on the manufacturing floor, and a very slow, not creative on the top.
Right, but look, Germany's always trades at a discount to the States. I'm not sure the comparison of German company valuations and earning price multiples is an issue of taxes and unions. You can't fire people there so easily. But my concern is that they want you to open the door. I understand. It's not.
Oh, I got that link. I'll pull that up after we go through this clip. Thank you.
Not real. It's not really your expertise.
Yeah, but
It's your. I understand. You see, your capabilities. I think
what they basically say.
you're going to make a lot of money.
I'm trying to figure out who is Larry Summers and who's Barak and who's Epstein. Or it's Epstein recording. It's just Barak and Summers talking, maybe.
See,
wouldn't make.
you're going to make a lot of money. You're definitely going to make a lot of money.
I'm
So the
not
question,
going.
you will. you're definitely going to make a lot of, you will make money. The question is which place you do it with.
Okay, look, I will show, after you read it, I will show the concrete proposal that they sent to me. They gave an example. They say, we are ready, we are going to get, when we put the money, assume for a moment you succeed in bringing us someone who can put $1 billion on equity for some project.
Right.
Big enough. Think, for example, of the China investment company. They run probably
So yeah, they're talking about how much money they can make with their government connections, especially from the people that owe them favors of different types. Yeah, it is hard to make out what they're saying for sure. Which yeah, that and the thing about this is why did Epstein like audio record this? Yeah, like this could have been additional black, like he was recording, documenting everything, every minute of everything.
100 billion, they can afford doing it if it's affordable.
Yes.
Okay, assume that we convince them. They say, okay, with the debt it's 2 billion.
I understand.
Out of the 2 billion, we got 3%.
I understand.
We are ready to give you 12 million.
Right.
Out of the 60 million we get immediately, and then smaller amounts down the
Right. So what Tom asked me this morning,
Yeah.
and he said he told you.
This is Epstein here talking. And I think this is where he starts to give him the advice on how to leverage his government connections to make a lot of money.
Davos,
Yeah.
was he thought you should make a list of his words, not was.
Metrics,
He
as
said,
I told you.
yes, but who has IOUs to you? Is that who's out of the people in the past who you think you're close to? He said that he really wanted you to make this list of, this person owes me a favor, this person owes me his life, this person owes me his job, this person owes me.
Yeah, okay.
And so you got to work it backwards and say, here is my, instead of thinking about what the opportunities are first, because right now you're focused on opportunities.
Yeah.
I need you to focus on your
Yeah, okay.
personal balance sheet in terms of competences. What's your real strengths? What's the liability? One of the liabilities is you're 71 years old, so you can't be in a business that takes 20 years to make money.
Yeah.
We have to make money in the next 3 years. So people, competence, things. So I talked to Ian yesterday. I asked him to come.
Yeah.
He flew in from London. He's great for an hour.
What was his impression from the...
So same thing. Because he's very connected to Samsung. Very.
Who?
Samsung. Korean.
Samsung.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very.
These people don't know anything about like the biggest companies in the world.
Yeah.
They pay him $3 million a year.
Just to make PR.
Yes. He has 10 companies like that now.
Oh.
Okay. So he said there's this company called Lookout. He said he mentioned it to you.
Mm-hmm.
LOOKOUT.
Yeah. You told me.
Yep. He thinks they'll pay you a couple of $1 million to be on the board.
Yeah. That would be good.
Yeah, it's basically you get out of politics, you could get on the board of all of these companies, and it's like this corruption. And this was all a part of their game too. It's all definitely wrapped up together. I'm getting hit with a paywall on that Sentinel website. Are you able to see it?
There was two cyber companies, Lookout, and even though I know Peter, I've never met Peter Thiel. And everybody says
this is where he starts to talk about Palantir.
He sort of jumps around and acts sort of strange, like he's on drugs.
Smoking, yeah.
Yeah.
He looks under drugs.
However, he has a company called Palantir. Pallen. TIER. Palantir is Peter Thiel's company. And Lookout.
Palantir, PALANTIER?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. They can't even
How you
spell it.
write Thiel? Thielly.
Thiel.
Yeah, I actually watched it on the live stream the other night, and we were commenting on it and making fun of him and like pointing out his lies and everything.
LLY.
No, Thiell.
He's not even spelling.
Okay.
So he thought
One of them can't spell the company's name, and then the other one can't spell the founder's name.
that Peter would put you on the board of Palantir. Peter Thiel is one of the best. I've never met him. He's going to come here next week. So I wanted to talk to him after I talked to you.
Okay.
He and Andreessen, it's called Andreessen Horowitz. Andreessen Horowitz, that's what they pay Larry $1 million a year just to advise them.
Andreas and
Andreessen, Andreessen, and Horowitz.
Howard.
Horo. Horowitz.
Horowitz.
Yes.
There's just another name, yeah.
They're lobbyists.
And this was 2013, remember, as well.
They are the biggest venture capital people in Silicon Valley.
What, bigger than Sequoia or Kleiner Perkins?
These are the new Kleiner Perkins. Everybody, these are the smart boys.
Yeah.
So those two companies right away, in terms of, I said that we need now in the next 3 weeks if you're going to leave.
Yeah, so that link would come up in Brave, but it won't come up in this tab that I'm sharing. So hopefully I won't crash my computer when I try to open up 2 different browsers. Let's give this a shot. And can I browse? Can I share the screen to that? Let's see. Let me remove this. Stop screen. Share screen. Window. Oh, I gotta do that one. Yeah, okay. All right. You should be able to see this now. This was that article that Epstein shared with William Riley. This says a man extradited from Germany has been sentenced to 21 months in prison and fined $6,000 for recruiting Czech women to a trafficking ring with promises of modeling work. Ron Eppinger had faced up to 10 years after pleading guilty this month to charges of alien smuggling, for trafficking, interstate travel, and money laundering. Eppinger worked with 2 Czech women to get tourist visas. This was the person that trafficked Virginia Giuffre before she met Epstein. As part of his plea, Epstein forfeited a boat and a limousine, Eppinger, forfeited a boat and a limousine used to promote the call girl service. Eppinger learned that he was under investigation in June 1999 and moved from the United States to the Czech Republic of Prague. He was arrested in Germany last December while traveling from the Czech Republic to Spain and was sent to the United States in May. 2 accomplices, Lucy and pleaded guilty earlier to alien smuggling and conspiracy. They also received part of the fees. Wow. So that was what Epstein sent to Riley. I want to go back and see what the date is. Hold on just 1 minute. I'll bring this back up. Sentinel. Let's see. No, it didn't work. I'll just look for Riley and I'll scroll down to the one that because I think it said he's dead, right? He is dead. This was 2015. So this was after Virginia Giuffre came forward, a couple years after. Weird. Very, very weird. See if I got anything else on here today. Got another video that we need to figure out. I got to do a screenshot of this guy and get his face and then run it through that facial recognition software. This looks like it's probably at the island, I guess. Yeah. I don't know what, like, probably the island. This guy right here. Anybody identify him yet in the comments? Lindsey Graham. Only found this one hit on a free facial recognition site. Couldn't find a name or profile on either. Chef Michael Ross. I don't know. Yeah, so not sure on that one, but I know that there's definitely a lot more coming out, and there will continue to be. So we'll probably have a lot more to look through tomorrow. I think that yeah, there's definitely some links to still be connected, and JMail hasn't even been fully up and running yet. With all the new files, like there's still some that are populating and just like previews right now. So there will definitely have a lot to look through then. But I think I'm going to call it an evening. It was great chilling with y'all. Please like and subscribe if you can. And I will see you tomorrow. Oh, yeah, and join the Discord. It should be in the chat. I'll post it in the comments as well if you're watching later. And I post all the show notes in there. We talk about the stories that we're going to be covering. And you can also suggest things that you want me to cover and, be a part of the conversation and all that. And yeah, just shared the link in there. Thank you all. Appreciate you stopping through. Peace.